Hey everyone, and welcome to our first breakout session in our team leader training series. We hope you really enjoyed the virtual kickoff last week and that you gained valuable information from the series. Tonight we're going to hear from several teams, some awesome team leaders about recruiting walkers, setting goals for your team, a virtual kickoff, and so much more. If you have any questions throughout, please just use the chat feature and chat your questions in. We'll answer all the questions at the end in our live Q&A session. And this year, I hope y'all know we're all just turning lemons into lemonade. We're making the most out of the situation. We certainly wish we could all be together for great strides this year, but since we're having to turn it virtual, we're going to do all we can to make it a fantastic fundraising season. And with your help, I know we can make that possible. First, I really want to acknowledge how special each of you are for continuing to be so dedicated to our mission. We're all so passionate about it. So now more than ever, even in these volatile times, we are laser focused on a cure. And we know that with your support, we're going to get there. We are staying course and we will achieve our mission. So with that said, I'm going to pass it along to an amazing team leader who really knows how to get her community behind her. So Jess, take it over.
Thanks, Danielle. I'm excited to share my story with all of you in the hopes of helping you rally your own team to walk and support you virtually this year. I was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis at birth. I had an obstruction in my intestines and I had surgery at 3 days old to clear out the obstruction. I was born 2 weeks early, and if I had been born on my due date, I would not have survived. My parents were told that if I made it to age 8, there was a 50% chance of me living to 16. That was unacceptable to my parents. So my dad looked up the CF Foundation in the phone book and showed up in their local office so he could find out how he could make a difference. The foundation was much different back in the 70s. We hadn't even discovered the CF gene yet. My parents knew that they had to do what they could, and from that day on, they have rallied our community behind them and have done all they could to find a cure. They've done a ton of fundraisers, been involved with great strides for decades, and have worked really hard to spread awareness for CF. I served as a CF Foundation poster child from age 3 to 9. Getting involved so young gave me the power to share my CF story throughout my life. So even though I was aware of this dire disease, I had a lot of fun times that were associated with the CFF community. And I do believe that our community has been so supportive because they have come alongside us through one of the greatest stories in medicine. From the start, we have allowed people into our lives with CF. They were with us when the foundation announced the discovery of the CF gene. They've been beside us as new medications and treatments were found. They saw me get my first vest, start breathing treatments, have access to different antibiotics, and just this year, they got to see me start my first modulator, Trikafta. Every step of the way, my community has felt pride in knowing that they are a part of me surviving CF. Because of people like my parents and people in my community, I'm now 43 years old and I've accomplished more than I ever dreamed I would. I would challenge you to share your story with your family, your friends, coworkers, faith or school community, even those less obvious like businesses you support. Really think outside the box. You'll be surprised who shows up to support. My friends and family are able to take pride in what they have made possible over the last 40 years. Your community will be alongside you the entire way too, all the way to a cure. Thanks for letting me share. Now I want to turn it back over to Danielle to share the importance of your team registering for the walk.
Wow, Jess, that was such a powerful story. All of our volunteers really have such impactful stories. And I know your communities are so glad just to support you each step of the way. I know I can speak from my personal experience that for my family team, it's people who you would least expect that show up time and again and really change your life for the better. So now I want to share with you the importance of registering people to walk on a team, even in the virtual world. As many of you experienced fundraisers know, it is important to share your fundraising link to your Great Strides page. So the more people that you register to walk, the more people that are going to see that fundraising link, they're going to share it, and it's going to spread your story and help you reach your goal. So, for example, one of my best friends shared her fundraising link by registering for my team, and she was able to reach 20 plus more people than I would have ever been able to reach because she registered for the walk, she shared her fundraising link, and she really helped make a dent in our fundraising goal. So I would really encourage you to get your friends and family to register for your team, share their fundraising link on Facebook or through email on the participant center. If you want to learn more about Facebook fundraising, we're going to have a breakout session on September 1st. It's going to be really good information. They're going to dive deep into the details of fundraising on Facebook. So join us on September 1st for that. But right now we're going to dig into into setting team goals. And there's no one better than this team leader, and how she sets, meets, and knocks her goals really out of the park. So Brittany, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Danielle. I know that we're all inspired to start reaching out to our teams and having them get registered. We wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the importance of setting a goal for your team. Everyone is motivated by a goal, and now more than ever, it's important to set goals for your team. As you probably know, the Great Strides team page automatically sets a default goal of $3,000. But I would personally encourage you to take a look at that number and change it to something that you think is feasible. The number could be higher or it could be lower. Personally, our team, Team Sutton Grace, will set a goal on the website and we challenge our community to hit it, and boy, do they always come through. Throughout our fundraising, we'll provide results and updates on how close we're getting, and this often is the motivation that people need to give. Often we find that people are most generous when they know the goal that we are trying to reach. I hope this has helped you about the types of goals that you'd like to set for your team.
Thank you for that. So much good information. It may be hard to hit our goals this year, but I'm sure going to do my very best. Part of doing my best is being sure to make a self-donation to my team page. I find that people are more likely to support you if they see you financially supporting your own mission. Also, it is important to stress to your teammates that they too make a self-donation. Self-donations from our team really add up and help you meet those goals. Currently, I have 21 people registered to my team and 8 of them have made a self-donation. If the other 14 people make a $20 donation, that would add another $280 to our team fundraising goal. Every dollar counts. Now let's take a look at what some teams are going to do on our virtual walk weekend in September.
Thanks and congrats on all those selfies. If anyone knows me, they know I love a good challenge. This year is a challenging year for sure, but I know my team will show up and support us, and I'm really grateful for that. Even though we can't be together this year for Great Strides, I would encourage you to think about what you're comfortable with for your own team and do something to celebrate. For our team, Team Aspen, we're going to gather together in our church parking lot, wear our matching shirts and masks, and celebrate all our community has done for CF this year. Our team is made up of close friends and family, so we feel comfortable being outdoors together. However, what you feel comfortable with may look different, so here are a few more ideas I thought I would share with you. Do a porch parade for your CF fighter in your neighborhood. Host a Zoom celebration with your team. Challenge your team to walk in their own neighborhoods that weekend. Start a group text and share pictures and videos of people supporting you that day. If you need more ideas or want to talk it through, contact your Great Strides partner. Now I'm going to pass it on to Shay to give you a breakout breakdown.
Thanks, Debbie. Those are such great ideas. I can't wait to see what you all come up with. I wanted to remind you that we will be hosting more breakout sessions for you over the next several weeks. You're welcome to attend as many as you would like and invite your team members to join. These sessions, which are taking place on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock, include Back to the Basics of Fundraising on August 18th, Social Media Savvy on September 1st, and last but not least, Planning Your Walk Weekend Experience on September 15th. We'll be sending out invitations before each session and recordings after. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your Great Strides partner for more details. Now, I'm going to pass it back over to Vicki to start our live Q&A.
Hey everybody, thank you guys so much for spending some time with us. We promise these sessions are going to be short and we're going to give you all the information you need to use to really get everything organized and ready for your team. I'd encourage you to turn on your videos if you have them so we can see your faces. And I'd love to just thank all of our speakers for sharing their stories tonight. You guys inspire us every single day, so thank you for taking the time to share what you guys do that makes each of your teams so very special. Again, on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see the option to chat, so feel free to chat in any questions that you have there. and Shay's going to be monitoring those throughout the evening. But I wanted to give a quick update on where we're standing. So we have increased just about $14,000 since we were doing this live video last Thursday. So we're just at $1.285 million. And again, we've got a goal of 1.6 million. So we're definitely closing in the gap and moving along. And I know we have got a little more time, but it seems like how did we get into August already is sort of how it's feeling. And then in terms of walkers, we've had 14 walkers register, so we're at 834 out of our 1,000 walker goal. So really encourage you guys to start thinking about who are your faithful walkers that walk with you every year and really asking them to virtually support you. So I'm gonna be quiet for a second and would love to hear any questions you guys have, or if you have any fundraising ideas that are working for your teams. I'd love for you to unmute yourselves and let's share them. I heard from a team earlier today that did a virtual Facebook fundraising kickoff on Facebook Live, and they got a $10,000 match for their team, which I know doesn't all the time happen, but I was really inspired. I think I don't know, Facebook Live sometimes seems scary. And she said at the beginning of the video that if nobody watched this, she was going to delete it from her feed. But, you know, it obviously turned out into something that went really well. So anybody have any virtual fundraising ideas or things that have already been implemented with your teams that are starting to work well? Debbie said a craft night. That sounds cool. Will you take yourself off mute and tell us about it?
Well, actually, we usually do like a fall wreath party in person, where we get together and do either paint or do a wreath or something like that. And so people usually pay to do that. So we're thinking about doing that for a virtual. I don't know why we can't. So we're going to see how that goes.
That's a great idea. I Instagrammed Lisa yesterday about a virtual tea party for little ones. I don't know. I feel like there's so many cool ideas that you can kind of turn things on their heads and think about. So anybody else?
One of our team leaders who's not on had a great idea that I really loved. Her teenage son is into Fortnite. And so they're going to host a virtual Fortnite fundraiser, which I think is such a great idea. And I love that it gets her teenage son involved. That's in an age where they become a little bit more disconnected. And so it's something that he's really into. And so if that strikes a chord with anybody, we have all the details for you. So hit me up if you want to know more about that.
I know these are kind of awkward because I'm calling you from my living room. So I just feel like I wish we could be together having like a glass of wine while we're doing this. So thank y'all for hanging in with us. Anybody else?
I don't have an idea, but I honestly am struggling with getting people to even recognize the fact that I'm fundraising on Facebook. And, I know Facebook has become a huge platform for fundraising for all organizations. So I guess I would like tips personally on how to, obviously all of my friends probably know my story, and I guess I'm a little frustrated with the fact that they're like, when I'm sick, they're just like, oh yeah, you're sick. We're praying for you, all this. But then now it's kind of like cricket. So does anybody have any, ways of troubleshooting that type of, has anybody else experienced that?
Jess, what about you? You do awesome on Facebook. Tips for her?
Definitely experienced the same thing, that everybody kind of rallies when you're not feeling well. But yeah, I think just mentioning it several times, but not too much to, I don't want to bombard anybody with it. But what I'm thinking of doing is an email, and I'm just kind of reaching out to people that way, just as a different way of getting to them besides Facebook, in addition to Facebook. And then the other thought I had was just to write some personal thank you notes and I've been having some trouble with USPS lately. That I don't know if you guys have experienced that. Like I've sent birthday cards to people and they get there like one of my friends got it 2 weeks later and it was all mangled up. So I was like, a little hesitant, but I think I'm still going to go ahead and just, write some personal thank you notes and just thank you for your support in the past. This year we're going to do virtual walk and encourage you to register for, on our team and walk in your own neighborhood kind of thing. So that's my thought at the moment. What do you guys think?
I think tagging folks when they do donate, Caroline, in the comments, that to me always works personally when I'm fundraising. So thank you, Caroline, for supporting me, because then it shows to that person's feed as well. So the more you can do within that Facebook fundraising kind of space, I think the better results you get in that. But yeah, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. So I was just going to say one thing within the Facebook fundraiser, you can invite people to the fundraiser. So I would encourage you to go online and look at the Facebook fundraiser page and then invite as many friends if you want to be thoughtful about maybe who your friends are that could give, or you can invite, I think Facebook says like 180 people is like an ideal number. I don't know where they come up with that, but if you can invite some people, it'll tag them on their page, and so maybe that'll get a little bit more action for you too.
I was going to say that our Facebook has been really down with earning money too, and so Danielle is helping me write a letter, kind of a pull your heartstring letter, and I'm actually for the first time going to mail a letter with an envelope and ask people more for a direct personal invite. I think a lot of people are pulling away a little more from Facebook than they have because there's so much negative on there with all that's going on. That's certainly been true for us. We've only raised probably about a third of what we normally do. And so I'm going to try the letter approach with the envelope, and Helen Aspens, most of everybody that knows us knows his story, but I'm going to tell his story again in the letter and really try to make it a little more personal than I even do on Facebook. I feel like if it's more than a few sentences, they stop reading. But if they get something in the mail, maybe it'll be a different approach. So that's what we're going to try this year. So
I love it.
Yeah, I'll be glad to. I helped her. Debbie's my mom. I call her Debbie, but she's also my mom. That's my family team.
AKA mom.
So everybody meet my mom. But yeah, I will help her, but I'll also help you. So if you need help writing a letter, finding out, donor addresses that you need, anything like that, I'll be glad to help facilitate for you. So just reach out and let me know.
Yeah, and I was going to plug the Great Strides app too. If you haven't downloaded it before, you can get it in the Google Play or the Apple Store. And there's a way to send text messages through the app to potential donors. So again, like just a different way. I feel like sometimes we're on our phones now more sometimes than we are, it's just, again, a different way. If you feel like the post office isn't the way to go or Facebook isn't working for you, text messages can be a good option as well.
This is Brittany. Just a little tidbit of what's worked for us is that I typically post on Sunday evenings. And I know with more people at home now, that seems like a lot of people are maybe on social media more, but like I know that I don't get on it until, if I do, it's at night and maybe more often on the weekends than not. So I found that posting on Sunday evening, maybe like 8 o'clock, tends to be a good time to engage people because they're either like winding down their weekend, getting ready for work to start. It tends to be a time where people are just maybe like a little more kind of mindlessly doing some things. And so that's worked really well for us as far as timing.
So smart, Brittany. Thank you. Okay, anybody else have any questions or problems that you're encountering, things that we can help brainstorm as a group?
I have a question. Well, I'm Michelle with Walgreens. Hi, everybody. And I actually live in Florida, but I am a rep covering Georgia. So I want to be able to get involved, and I don't know if I should join somebody's team or what you guys have suggestions for me.
We're so excited you're with us, Michelle. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
on. I think it's probably scary to tell this group that you can join one of their teams. So have everybody raising their hand.
I know, right? Everybody like, oh, but I thought to myself, I'm like, well, whose team do I get on? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So when Danielle sent me the email, I'm like, this is great. I'm coming over here and I'm going to figure out need a team, you know?
Yeah, I would create a Walgreens team.
Okay.
And I typically encourage corporate teams, if they don't have a direct connection, let's connect you with an ambassador. And I feel like I know Bob and Blake are on the call, but all ladies that I'm looking at right here. But we can certainly connect you with someone's story that you guys could be, fundraising on their behalf. So yeah, let's get you plugged in, and Danielle can help you get registered on the website, and then we can figure out a great ambassador team for you guys to connect and kind of share with your employees. That's awesome. We're so glad you're with us.
Thank you. I like it. Okay, Danielle, I'll be emailing you to schedule some time to help me out.
Yeah, I would love to. And I have a couple of pharmaceutical reps similar to you who have their own personal team. So I can either connect you or show you their pages. And like Vicki said, connect you with an ambassador. That'd be great. We'd love to have you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anybody else? Awesome. Well, our whole team again is here to support you guys. We're working in our kitchens and living rooms. You guys know most of our telephone numbers, but email us or call us if you have anything that we can help you with. If you just need to brainstorm, want somebody to look at your letter, let us be a resource to y'all. And I'm really excited. Our next fundraising session is going to be Tuesday, August 18th at 5 o'clock. And we'll be sure to send calendar invites as we get a little bit closer. But not to spoiler alert this one, but we know that everybody's stretched really thin and has a lot going on. So we really want to dial back fundraising for you guys and share some of like the most basic, easy things that you guys can do that will help efficiently use your time and to kind of strategize with you to bring in those donations. So we have another great set of team leaders lined up that are going to present. And again, we're just appreciative. Thank you guys for rolling with the punches with us and helping to make this work. We couldn't do it without you guys. So again, we're a phone call away if you need us, and we'll see you on August 18th, if not before then, okay? Stay safe, guys. Thank you.
Thank